Hey everyone, so we are back at it again with microaggressions and labeling nearly everything that SJWs disagree with as racist or fascistic. The problem that SJWs will inevitably face is when real fascists and real, actual racists become an issue. Not that I think it ever will become an issue, as they have been dying ideas for quite some time, but if it ever does happen, it will be the boy who cried wolf in a nutshell. No one will take them seriously because for years now, SJWs have been yelling at white males about referring to a black person, for example, as intelligent, and they think that is somehow racist because in their minds, they perceive any white person calling a black person intelligent. They perceive it as the white person being shocked by this because the SJW thinks that the white person thinks it isn't the norm. This is obviously a distorted perception of reality on the part of the SJWs. If someone is intelligent and there is a reason for me to point that out, I will point it out. It's as simple as that. Or if there is a really good-looking lady, for example, and you mention that you think she is good-looking, and she happens to be any non-white race, it has become an incessant habit among SJWs to first call you a chauvinistic pig, of course. Then they will call you a racist, because in their warped mind, you could only be saying they are good-looking because you're shocked a non-white person could be good-looking. It's all a bunch of pure drivel. And it goes without saying, anyone who supports Trump, in their mind, is a fascist. Meanwhile, most people who supported Trump simply got sick of being ridiculed as racists and fascists, and they decided to shove it back in their face by being active during the election. So considering all this, if there comes a time in which racism or fascism actually becomes prominent, those words will be hollow shells of their former selves. This is anecdotal on my part, but perhaps some people will agree with me on this. 10 to 15 years ago or so, if someone was called a racist, my default reaction was to consider them racist until undeniable proof cleared them of that charge. It might not have been right for me to do that, but that is what I did, because I figured there had to be a severe reason that such a slander would be put on someone. Now today, if someone is called a racist, my knee-jerk reaction is to assume that at worst they may have said some trivial thing that was taken out of context. My default reaction now is to assume the person making the racist accusation is embellishing something to a huge degree. The SJWs have destroyed the true, vile reality of racism and fascism and replaced it with an all-encompassing targeting system that can hit anyone for almost anything, and thus those words have lost almost all meaning. It would be as if libertarians referred to everyone as communists. All the progress libertarians have made would quickly be brushed to the side, and we would falter. For example, one of the 10 planks in the Communist Manifesto for communists to implement when the revolution occurs is a graduated or progressive income tax, exactly what the United States has now. But it would only hurt libertarians if we referred to everyone who supports the income tax as a Marxist. And that, in social justice terms, is exactly what SJWs have done. They have taken these words that have very evil, vile, and despicable implications within them, and they've turned them into a mundane accusation that can be made against almost anyone at any time. That's all for now, and thanks for listening.